Okay, revision video number 2. Have a look at these, pause the video now, give them a go, and then I'll go through the answers. Okay, right, so first one, we've got two mixed numbers and we're adding them. Okay, so we need to give them the same denominator. Okay, so they both go into 40, so let's make this one out of 40 as well. Okay, so that becomes 2 and 6 over 40, because we'll double the top and the bottom, add 1 and 9 over 40. Okay, next thing we could do, now there's a couple of different ways you could actually do this. If you can see that these will add to something that doesn't go over 40, then that makes things a lot simpler, because all we can do, all we need to do rather, is make it so that we can just add the big numbers first. So 2 add 1 is 3, and then 6 and 9 would be 15 over 40. Okay. If you really want to play it safe, you could turn those both into improper fractions and then turn them back into mixed numbers at the end if the question asks you to do that. Okay. Now this we can simplify. Okay, so both in the 5 times table, so that becomes 3. Divide that by 5, we get 3. Divide that by 5, we get 8. There we go. Okay, 3 and 3/8. Next one, highest common factor of 30 and 75. What we could do, we could list some other factors of 30 and 75. So 1 times 30, 2 times 15, 3 times 10, 5 times 6. For 75, we've got 1 times 75, 2 doesn't go into it. 3 times 25, 4 doesn't go into it. 5 times 15, and I think that's about it. Yes, okay, so 1's in both, 2's not, 3's in both, 5's in both, 6 isn't, 10 isn't, 15's in both, 30 isn't, oops, 25 isn't, 75 isn't. So the highest common factor is 15 for this one. Highest common factor is 15. Okay, next one, you just got to label what these are. This one goes off on a tangent. This one strikes a chord right in the random bit of the circle. And this one is a sector. That one, I can never think of a way to remember that one, because the other alternative is a segment, which is kind of the area in this bit here, and it looks a bit like an orange segment. That's the only way I can think to remember that. So next one, let's have a look. I forgot to put that that's an isosceles triangle. Hopefully you've picked that up. Okay, so 180 take away 35 is going to be 145. Yeah, 145. If it's an isosceles triangle, we can half that. So half of 140 is 70. Half of 5 is 2.5. So that'd be 72.5 there, and there as well. And then 180 take away the 72.5. to give you this one. So 180 take away 70 is of course 110, take away the 2.5, 107.5 degrees. You can have decimal degrees. In fact, when I was doing my degree, we in fact worked with angles that were split into 3,600ths, because that's how precise civil engineering has to be. Okay, right, here is the next lot of questions. These are the kind of revision questions, and I've just realised that I haven't actually put one there. Okay, sorry about that moment of despair on my part. Here's the questions. Give them a go. Pause the video now, and then I'll go through the answers. Okay, right, classic mistake that people make on this one is that they round this to 22, okay? You've got to round to the first significant figure, okay? The first significant figure is that 2 there, so the next thing we've got to round it, okay? So this becomes 20, the 7.9 would round to 8, and the 0.512 would round to 0.5, not 1, okay? Because the 5 is the first significant figure. 20 times 8 is 160, divided by 0.5. Now, think about this. If you're dividing by 0.5, well, if you divide by 2, you half it. This isn't a divide by 2. A lot of people make that mistake, okay? If you divide by 0.5, it's like times in by 2, okay? So this comes out as 320 in the end. Okay, remember it's an estimate question. I hate those questions, but I'm afraid you've got to follow the rules that the exam board does. Find the gradient between 4, 9 and 7, 21. Okay, you're just finding the gradient, you don't need to find the equation. Okay, although if you have, I'm not going to complain. So to find the gradient of something between 2 points, you've got to find the rise divided by the run. Okay, the rise is how much it rises in the y-axis. Okay, so look at the y coordinates and see how much it rises by. So it rises from 9 up to 21. So 9 up to 21, it goes up by 12. X coordinates, it goes from 4 to 7, so that goes up by 3. So 12 divided by 3 is 4. That's the gradient. Okay. A car goes from £20,000 down to £13,200. Find the percentage change. Okay. So to find the percentage change, you find the difference between them. So the difference between them in this case is 6,800. And you divide by the original, and then to turn it into a percentage you times it by 100. Okay, just for quickness I'm going to use my calculator. If you've cancelled it out and done it, put it over 100 for example, it comes out as what, actually let's do it the non-calculator way. So if you simplify this down, that becomes 68 over 200, which becomes 34 over 100, times that by 100, you get, 34%. Hey, I worked that out in my head. Didn't expect myself to do that so quickly. And this last one, the one that I've just made up, expand these out, so do 2x times x, which is 2x squared, 2x times minus 7, which is minus 14x, 3 times x, which is 3x, and then 3 times minus 7, which is minus 21. Okay, I should have put expand and simplify, so if we simplify this, there's no other x squareds, there's an x there, so we can simplify those. There's no other numbers on their own, so we can't simplify that one. So if we simplify these ones in the middle, 2x squared, minus 14x, add 3x would be minus 11x, not minus 17x, minus 21. Okay, there we go. Right, and final set of questions, the challenge questions. There we go. So 0.131 recurring as a fraction, those recurring symbols. The sale price for a laptop is £450 after 25% off. Find the original price. Pause the video, then I'll go through how to do it. Okay, so this one, we have 3 recurring places. Okay, let's call 0.123x first of all. Okay, what we want to do, if we're wanting to find it as a fraction, we need to find it. We need to make another number where we've got this recurring in the same decimal places. Okay, so if we times it by 1,000, we're going to get that. If we times it by 1,000, we get 123.123 recurring. Remember the 123 keeps going on and on and on and on and on. So this is 0.123, 123, 123, 123, and so on. So if we times it by 1,000, it'd be 123.123, 123, 123, 123, and so on. Okay. What we could do now, take this away from that. So 1000x take away x is 999. Whoops, 999x. 123.123 recurring take away 0.123 recurring. It's just 123. So to find out what it is, divide by 999, we get 123 over 999, and this does simplify. They're both in the 3 times table, okay? We know that that's in the 3 times table, the top one, because if you add them together, if you add the digits together, it comes out 6, and 6 is in the 3 times table, so that's in the 3 times table, okay? Divide it by 3, we get 41 on the top. Divide that by 3, we're going to get 333. That's our answer, okay? Last one, sale price for a laptop is £450 after 25% off. Okay, so that £450 represents 75%. Okay, it's not the full 100% because the reduction has already happened. So what we've got to do is we've got to find out what that 100% is. I'm going to do this the non-calculator way. So what we could do is find something that goes into 100%. What we could do, if we divide that by 3, we could get 25%, couldn't we? If we divide that by 3, so 450 divided by 3, it gives you £150. And then to get from 25% up to 100%, what could we times by? We could times by 4. So if we times this by 4, we get £600. Okay? Let's check this out, just to check if it works. So if we do £600 and do 25% off, so 25% would be, so divide it by 4, we get 150. And then 600, take away the 150, we get 450. What was it there? Yeah, 450, that matches up. Boom, done. Okay, thank you very much. Hope this helps.